Hey everyone, it's Brandon with New 9 Golf, and I just planned a golf trip down to Mexico, and here's how it all went down. With all this COVID stuff going on, I'm sick and tired of sitting in my house, doing nothing, looking at my kitchen every day that I needed to get out of the house. Every year, my wife and I go on a winter vacation, always to somewhere warm that we can bring our golf clubs. When this airline announced a 2-day quarantine and they provide all the testing, I thought this is perfect. Sign us up. We're definitely down to get some travel to do the minimalist amount of quarantining that we have to. One of the best parts about traveling during a quarantine is that the prices were a lot cheaper than normal. If we were looking to travel in the winter months in previous years, the prices aren't cheap. You're looking at spending anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 to get a decent vacation. With the pandemic going on, prices were almost cut in half, that we could basically go to Mexico 2 for the price of 1. It was kind of a win-win all around. When we got to the airport, they're obviously following all their procedures and wearing a mask and hand sanitizer, checking your temperature, those types of things. If you're going about your day-to-day life and you're wearing masks and doing those types of things, you kind of just put up with it. It is what it is. Once we landed in Mexico, the first thing that I realized is that there's not all the tour buses picking everyone up, that it's much smaller transportation getting you to and from the resort just because there's not that many people traveling. When we finally got to the resort, they took our temperature, they gave us hand sanitizer, made us fill out a questionnaire, and it made us feel pretty safe that they were doing some precautions just to make sure that their guests were feeling safe. One of the biggest reasons why we traveled to Mexico is there's pretty affordable golf down there. We flew into Cancun, we took about a 45-minute drive to our resort, and we never left the resort once. The golf course was a 3-minute drive. The bellboys would call the golf cart, it would pick us up, we take our clubs over to the golf course. Most of these resorts in Mexico will tell you that there's free golf included in your stay. They'll say the round is free, but the course will usually charge you a cart rider fee. This will range anywhere from $30 all the way to $90 US, so you're still paying money out of pocket to golf. What was so cool about this resort is that the golf course was on the property, so we didn't have to worry about spending cab fare to get there and cab fare to get back, is that we're really just tipping the guys that were driving us to get us to and from the resort. While we were down there, I reached out to the golf course and I was hoping I could do a bit of a trade with them. I said that we're going to be bringing out a lot of our camera and media equipment that we're willing to make you guys a video in exchange for some golf. Now, I was hoping he would give us free golf for our entire stay. It wasn't the case. He gave us 2 complimentary rounds. The rest was on us. We were still able to golf all 6 days that we were down there. Once we got onto the resort, we didn't have to wear our mask everywhere that we wanted to go. They made us wear your mask in the buffet line and at a couple restaurants, but once you're in there and you're eating, you can obviously take your mask off. Some people were following higher procedures than others. It was really up to you, but I think the resort was doing a decent job in keeping the COVID under control. The resort was only at a 30% capacity, so we had a lot of the resort to ourselves. In reviewing the golf specifically, it was the Playa Mujeres golf course. There was 3 resorts that kind of surrounded the golf course and they each had access to the course, but you'd be looking to spend around $90 US per person to play in prime time. They did offer a twilight raid after 1 o'clock that you could pay for a 25% discount, and there was still enough light in the day for you to play your round. When you think about golfing in the Caribbean, you think about the nice beaches and the shore and the fruity drinks. This course only had 1 hole on the ocean. The 16th hole was absolutely stunning, and when you were there, you really take it in that it was such a fantastic setting to be in that you forget about this pandemic that's going on in the world. It was a lot of fun to play. The course was challenging. I lost almost every ball that I brought down there, but it was a blast to get out of this quarantine that we've been living in, and it was a lot of fun. If you're considering taking a vacation during this quarantine, I highly recommend it. One of the things that you can do to get up to speed on what the resort is doing is search on Facebook that resort and support groups. My wife came across this group for the Dreams Playa Mujeres on Facebook, and there was a laundry list of all the people that were currently staying there, giving you up to date for what restaurants are open, what's not open, what you should bring, what you shouldn't bring. That these Facebook groups were so awesome to kind of get us prepared for going down for this trip. In wrapping up, our stay was pretty decent. I've definitely been to some nicer resorts, but considering that they were understaffed, some restaurants were not open, they're dealing with this pandemic, I thought it was a great trip. I would definitely go back there again, and I would definitely look at some of the other resorts in that area. I'll pull up a map and show you where our resort was beside the golf course and kind of how far away it was from the airport. I would highly recommend planning a golf trip to Cancun. There's a ton of great golf down there, and it's pretty affordable. In wrapping up, it was a great trip. We got some great content, we got some great footage, and I would definitely do it again. Fingers crossed that the world gets back to normal. This COVID is a thing of the past, but if you're considering traveling during this pandemic, I would definitely recommend it for your own psyche health, for your physical health, and to just have a vacation. You work hard enough, you enjoy it. Thanks again for watching the New 9 Golf channel. I'm your host, Brandon, and we'll check in with you next time.